I'm Scott. I've been a member since 2017, being born and raised on a farm in the Midwest. Well, I will say I made a very difficult decision when I was about 24 years of age. I remember I went to my grandfather at the time, who I expected to have a negative reaction to my request to go to college. I sat down with him and I said, Grandpa, I know you expect me to stay on the farm. However, I also have an appetite to go pursue education. So he looked at me, and I'll never forget, he said, well, I always wanted your father to go to college, so I guess that's reasonable. So off to college I went. I worked my way through on the farm, worked as a graduate assistant, became a classroom teacher in Missouri. Soon thereafter, had an opportunity to go to Las Vegas, Nevada, which was quite a move from the Midwest. Most of the 18 years I was in that school system was as a school principal. And then my dream job was superintendent of schools, and that dream job brought me to the Coachella Valley, Southern California. So I spent about 5.5 years as the superintendent of schools. Fantastic experience. I became a member of Schools First, actually before I reported to my position, technically. The outgoing superintendent actually reached out to me and said, hey, do you need a place to stay when you're over here? And oh, by the way, you're going to need a credit union. And in that case, it just happened to be that I was knocking on the door at Schools First. Having completed my 32nd year in education, I decided I would retire. As I announced my retirement, unfortunately, I was also diagnosed with cancer. Got that dreaded call from the oncologist one day, and basically I was told, well, now that you're retired, you have 1 year to fight for your life. So I remember Virginia calling me over into a corner and saying, what's going on? Like, how can we help? And she was there for me, She met with my wife and I, and we're talking like, oh my God, he's told he has to fight for his life for a year. What happens if it doesn't work out well? What about our financial situation?
I met Scott 4 years ago when I started the credit union. And at that time, he was actually serving as a superintendent in Palm Springs and serving the community. And so it was really nice to get to know him, not just in a professional, but in a personal level.
Virginia gave me that sense of peace, like, we got this, Don't worry about this. We'll do this, X, Y, Z. That needs to be the least of your worries right now, because you need to go take on this battle called cancer, in my case. So it was so nice knowing that was taken care of. I didn't have to worry about that piece of my life. My wife, my grandkids, my kids, they're all going to be okay, with or without me. As sad as you have to say or confront that demon, but worked my way through that successfully. 2 years in remission now, thankfully.
I still remember being there throughout his entire journey, from his retirement to him overcoming cancer and just being able to keep him safe during that time.
The credit union went there with me. The shoulder, not to cry on, but the shoulder to lean on in helping me through a crisis. Certainly, it was the people. Yeah. I ran across a proverb that I've reflected on quite a bit in my career, and that is, a single finger cannot lift a pebble. And for me, that means it takes community, it takes partnerships, it takes relationships. The credit union has been that trusted partner, allowing educators to move their mission forward. So for me, it's the people. Again, education's a people business. The credit union, very much a people business, and great people draw great people.
I considered Scott part of our credit union family, and it's just such a pleasure to be able to serve him.
I'm a proud member of the Schools First Federal Credit Union.